Good morning, it's the 21st of November 2016, and I'm David Wegener, and this is now over a week I've been giving free lessons, which does actually cost me my data for my phone, but that's okay. So I actually teach you and I pay for you to be taught, not the other way around. So that's all good because I get to give back to chess. Anyway, these are the pawns. Okay, now it's the 21st of November 2016. These are the pawns as they're set up normally, without the given pieces of the king and the etc., the queens and the knights and rooks and bishops. Okay, so this is what you set up the board with for the pawns. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is what I promised to talk about is the pawns. Now, okay, so you're going to see my hand in the way, obviously, as you do in chess anyway, and sometimes people's hands can get in the way of each other. But anyway, we've got that pawn's in the centre, and that this square, as you can see, is A, B, C, D, E. 1, 2, 3, 4, E4. So that corresponds with the squares. Because we've got chessboards which have got these things like the letters and numbers, and that's what it means. So we can describe, without having to video the game, afterwards what's going on and how that game came about to that picture that was on the board. So anyway, so we've got letters and numbers, which are algebraic, which determine where squares are on a certain board. Now, what we do is we say, if a pawn moves from here to here, which is what I write as E4, some people will go E2 to E4, so that you know what actually has moved to the square E4. But if it's a pawn move, they generally just go E4, okay? So that's E1, 2, 3, 4. So they'll go E4. And then, if a knight would move from this square here, it can't move to E4 here, of course, because it's its own colour. And you can't go on the same square as another one of your comrades in arms. You can't go to that square. It's impossible. It's against the rules of chess. So you can't put, even though earlier my pawns were all over the board in the earlier videos, which you may care to look at, you can't move two pieces of your own or pawns to the same square. And because pawns are governed in such a way, they can't move sideways like in drafts or in checkers. They can't move sideways, they can only move forwards. And they can also take in certain positions at certain times, sometimes only at that point and move itself, which is an Enpassant, which is this. Now, this pawn is on the 5th rank, okay? Now, and I'll take the knight off now. Okay, so it's knight off. So anyway, this pawn is advanced to the 5th rank. It sits on E5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And because it's advanced in nature as opposed to the other black pawns, it would be kind of unfair to have a pawn being able to just run past it like that on its first initial move of that pawn. So that's the inaugural move of that pawn. It would be kind of unfair, this is how I explain it to myself, it would be kind of unfair if that pawn was able to move two squares and the white pawn here has no option of doing anything. But in the rules of chess, if the player abreast to the pawn on the fifth rank, which is a white pawn in this case, or a black pawn in this case, the white pawn has as if the option of their move to go what is called a French word Enpassant. And I might be saying that wrong, but they have the option as if they have the option, white does, being on the fifth rank, that if the pawn on its first move, not second move, not like this, then here you can't do it for white. It has to be the inaugural move of this pawn, or the first move of this pawn, and not the first move of the game, but the first move of this pawn and this pawn. So if either one of them, white has the option to imagine that it's only moved one square, and in chess you're allowed to take it. But the difference being is once black has moved here, or once black has moved here, with the pawn on the fifth rank abreast to either one of them, and it's the first move, it's not from here to here, it's not one move and then two moves, it's one move, the first move for that pawn, so it comes from its second rank, that's their second rank, and that's white, my second rank. So if it comes from the second rank, then white in his move or her move has the option to imagine for one move only in that move to say, I'm going en passant. And when you start playing chess, you say, oh, it's en passant. And you get a lot of arguments sometimes. Because then they say, that's not allowed, you're not allowed to do that, blah, blah, blah. But no, it's the finite, absolute rules of chess. But the rule is if black makes a first inaugural move with that pawn, a first move of that pawn from the second rank to the fourth rank, in this case, because it's the fourth rank it's moved to, F5. If it makes that move, then white has the option in their move, straight after the F5 move, the black F5 move, that's F5, it's one of my favourite moves for black. But anyway, if black makes this F5 move, white hereby has the option only in their next given move to decide whether they want to or not, whether it affects their position or makes it better or whatever, or they end up queening the pawn because there's no other pawns here. So if black went F5 here, and white has the option in their move, next move only, not afterwards, not at a later date, not 10 moves later or 2 moves later or 1 move later. They have the option there and then to go en passant. And then we've got a wee thing for you. A pawn, when it reaches the 8th rank, which is this rank, okay, it's a passed pawn now, so it's past all other pawns that can get in its way. So there's no pawn here, okay, there's no black pawn stopping it from going to there, like in drafts. So there's no checkers in the way here to stop this checker from advancing like it would in checkers. And so it's called what is a passed pawn. Now a passed pawn can be even like this. And all these here, these pawns here, okay, all these 4 pawns here would be called and classified as passed, even though 2 are on the same file as each other. These 2 pawns, one's at F2 and one's at F6, and G2 and H2. Now, these pawns, because there's no black pawns to, even though there might be pieces on the board stopping them, there's no pawns in the way.